Today, we're going to dive into the crazy Utah real estate market. And in my 27 years, Stockton, I've never seen it this crazy. My name is Travis Ross.
And I'm Stockton Ross.
I'm Mr. X.
I'm Mr. Z.
And this is the house of X to Z. I'm the broker of Platinum Utah Real Estate. And here is my spawn. And what a great spawn he is. Stockton.
I try.
Today we're going to update you on the real estate market. We're going to start with the MLS listing inventory, the total active listing inventory right now on the utahrealestate.com website is 1,972 active listings, which is extremely low. Our current under contract inventory is 6,664 listings. So quite a bit higher number that are already under contract. Many of those will close in 30 days. If it's new construction, it'll be a little bit longer. And then get this, the total homes sold last year, 53,183 just in the last 12 months. So that 1,972 active inventory is extremely, extremely low. Now, if you look at the year over year, as far as the numbers of active listings, if you go back to the beginning of February of 2020, the active listing inventory was 6,436. And as of right now, we had just mentioned to you, this was taken from a couple of days ago. It shows 2,083 on here, but we had that updated with the 1972. So that is quite a drop of over 4,000 active listings in the inventory. Now, just for reference, back in the late 90s, I remember seeing the MLS active listings as high as 19,000 to 20,000, which is be more of a healthy inventory for us right now. And then the under contracts this time last year were 5,500, and right now they're 6,700. So it is a crazy, crazy time to try and buy a house right now.
Yeah, for Salt Lake County, we've got 471 active listings, 1,909 under contract, so over 4 times as many. And last year we sold 19,213 homes just in Salt Lake County, which equates to an absorption rate of about 2,200 homes per month, which means we only have less than a 2-week supply of homes before we ran out if they all went under contract.
Which is crazy. And that's why you're seeing a lot of these multiple offer situations. That's been very consistent for a while now, but especially the last 6 months, we've really just seen that inventory just drop. And now we're seeing multiple offers on new construction.
Sure.
As far as St. George, I'm covering St. George now as well, and actually just got my broker's license in Nevada, so we can focus on Vegas and Mesquite. But St. George area on the utahrealestate.com website, we only have 79 active listings down there. And this is the Washington County area. And then under contracts, 225. And then the sold in last year was 1,767. Now, St. George has their own MLS system, a flex system, which doesn't reflect these numbers. I would imagine they'd be maybe a little bit higher than these, but they are struggling with inventory as well right now. Do you want to quickly mention some of the cool things that are going on in St. George is VRBOs are a really, really hot thing down there right now. They have developed these subdivisions that are pre-approved with St. George City, which allows them to do the nightly rentals as long as they have their management company and the structure set up. And we actually went and checked one out. Desert Color down there is a 4,600 acre development, and there's a big chunk of Desert Color that is just VRBO. And they're going to have big lakes in there. They're going to have one of those like Top Golfs down in there, some commercial and retail around. It's going to be really, really nice.
Wow, it's very nice.
St. George is up and coming, but also they are very, very low on inventory.
And speaking of low inventory, we've also had an increase in new housing starts. In 2019, the national amount of new housing starts was 1.29 million. Last year it was 1.38 million, an increase of 7%.
So as far as just Utah home starts, Utah has, as far as 2019 goes, their total starts. Now this is not just sales. This would be considered apartment buildings and things like that as well. 28,779. is what we had in 2019. And depending on the quarter, it was down in one quarter and up. I think it's a little bit up overall compared 2020 compared to 2019. One of the factors driving this ferocious price increase, low inventory, of course we have the low interest rates, is the 650,000 people that are moving out of California. There's this mass exodus out of California right now.
It's been called the anti-California dream, the tech exodus, the Great Migration.
Between 2008 and 2019, 18,000 companies have left California for more tax and regulatory friendly states.
States' population and job growth have both slowed to a trickle. Census data shows more than 650,000 people left in 2019, after 7 years in a row where departures were on the rise. In fact, California has lost more people to other states than it's gained for much of the last 2 decades. In a study of more than 2,700 Bay Area workers, 2 of every 3 say they'd consider relocating if they could always work from home, something Dropbox, Twitter, and Facebook have offered, with the caveat that moving out of California could trigger a pay cut.
If I can live in Utah and work for a California company, or if my California company can move to Texas and I can stay or move anywhere else, then suddenly it's a lot easier to make the tax and other business cost decisions the front of mind decisions.
So that's been crazy. And unfortunately, from some of the studies and the data that I've come across and been reading, we're about 8 million homes shy of where we need to be. And one of the frustrating things with the construction industry has been the how long it takes to actually build a house. And so in the last 40 years, there hasn't been very much progress in how the whole construction process works. It has not been updated, technology has not been added as much, and has not been streamlined very well. So obviously there's a huge need for that right now.
And one of the possible solutions to this lack of inventory could be making home construction more affordable and more efficient. So one possible solution for that is modular homes or prefab construction. So here's a little clip for that.
We have a multi-trillion-dollar shortfall in the United States in providing housing for nurses, school teachers, bus drivers like my father. This is a critical issue that affects all communities.
And some areas are hit particularly hard.
The cost of affordable housing kept climbing about 10% a year to the point where it hit $800,000 of construction costs to house a family in San Francisco. That's just construction costs.
The pandemic and the loss of jobs and so the affordable housing problem is going to get worse in the short run.
One solution that's gaining traction are factory-built modular homes. And Tekra, Blue Homes, and Blockable are a few companies using this building technique.
Traditional construction is no longer sustainable cost-wise.
Construction, the AEC industry, is one of the most inefficient industries out there. It wastes more money, materials, it wastes more time than any other industry.
Modular is a big part of lowering the cost of that construction piece.
Also known as prefab, modular construction is when a builder constructs units in a factory and then delivers them to the site where they are assembled into the full structure.
We have big aspirations that we can be producing housing that was costing $800,000 down to $200,000.
So what did you think of that?
I mean, I think it's a definite possibility for the future. I mean, like he said, it can make a $800,000 home cost only $200,000. So
something needs to happen. We need to, in my opinion, we need to do what Tesla has done with the electric vehicle market, and we need to do the same thing with the housing market. Streamline it, vertical integration, and get those costs way, way down, because affordable housing is becoming more and more difficult for anyone to be able to qualify to get into a home first time.
For sure, for sure.
But this cat over here, he's already got into a house at 18 years old.
That's true.
That's my spawn.
Well, this has been your real estate update for the week.
I'm Mr. X.
And I'm Mr. Z.
And this has been the House of X to Z.